Hi everyone. I am back here today with a new video, and this is going to be again under the Finance and Money series. And so I'm coming back with some information, not some information, but more of just a discussion about a subject that is probably near and dear to every single person in this country, which is if obviously the finance and money, but I want to talk about debt, debt in America, and I'm not getting into the statistics and the statistics, the numbers and the metrics. You can do all that research on your own and find out about the numbers, but I wanted to answer and talk about a few things as far as debt and is it even possible to live without out of debt in America. We're going to touch a little bit about is there good debt, is there bad debt, in what point debt can be good. But the thought process I want to come here with is that overall, to be honest, whether it's in corporate is different. Obviously I'm talking from a private perspective. I'm not going to mix the two. Obviously corporate, it's a different story. There's good debt, there's bad debt. But in the private, like public, like us, like normal people talking about debt, households and families. What's going on with that in America? First of all, let me categorize the kind of debt that most people are in. I'm going to go from the largest to the smallest, obviously, and we're going to talk about the largest for private for people is usually mortgage, right? And then the good old student loans. And then we're going down to, believe it or not, credit card debt. In some instances, for some people, it can be close to student loans debt that in the hundreds of thousands of dollars. But credit card debt in third, and then personal line of credit, store card credit, department store, retail credit cards, up to even personal line of credit and loans. And so the point, if anybody follow my channel, is that I'm always interested in talking a little bit about finance and money and just kind of whatever I can learn and kind of can share or get the feedback or talk about some of the things that I see in my view and perspective. One of the things that I believe is that in order to create wealth from a private perspective is that as we all working towards, it's a little easier when you start doing that with the least amount of debt as possible. That's why it's so imperative, so important to everybody to work on that. Working on a plan to get out of debt. And then because when you get out of debt, you'll be amazed how a little bit quicker you're able to build wealth. And when I talk about build wealth, people hear build wealth and also thinking, oh, well, what are you trying to say that you're already a millionaire? That's not what I'm talking about. Um, Building wealth is just being able to be in the in the black in your net worth, right? When you take your net worth, I talked about a little bit of what the net worth is in a previous video, probably in finance series. Net worth is basically what you're worth outside of your liabilities. Like, what do you have that's the positive amount out of all the things that you owe? Your home, your cars, your credit cards. When you put your assets, how much are they compared to what you owe in general? And you make a simple math subtraction, it gives you what you're worth. And when I say building wealth, it's basically going from the red, which is the negative, which when you put your mortgage, your cars, your credit card, and this and anything else that you have assets like money in the bank, in savings, in CDs, in investments, anything, and you subtract that to all the stuff that you owe, then you'll find out what your net worth is. And I don't know if anybody even bothered about finding out what their net worth. People can live day to day, and that's okay if you can pay the bills and pay the car and pay the house. Most of the time, people don't care about knowing where they stand, but it's important to know where you stand as far as net worth. What's my net worth? And I can guarantee you, for anybody that own homes, in a majority, 80 to 90% of people are in the red, net worth wise. And I know it's cool. The house is getting value mostly in this day and age. Mortgage, high house values skyrocket. Everybody's excited. But again, if you continue to subtract that from what you owe and from your debt where you stand, if you're not in the black, which means the positive, right? You're starting to build money. That's how you build wealth, right? You start to build money positively. So when I talk about building wealth, I don't want anybody to come here and talk about millionaire or like kind of stuff that I had to hear. People just jump to conclusion. It's the simple fact that hey, I have a little bit more than what I owe. And then from that perspective, you continue to decrease what you owe, which the reason why the video today is getting out of debt, continue to pay down that. And so you continue to increase your net worth. It's just your wealth building journey. Okay. And it's different for everybody. Everybody have different objectives. I'm not here to talk about how to become a millionaire. That's nothing to do with what I'm talking about today. And so, getting out of debt it's a different process. It's a difficult process. People are obviously at different positions in different places. But my key here is that if you want to get on that journey, like I want to be, or I am trying to, hey, pay as much down as you can, get out of debt. It's difficult. I know it's a process that's very difficult. I can't sit here and say, well, in a year you're gonna be, I don't know where everybody stands, but once you have a plan, it's important to start working on the plan. Now you're talking about getting out of that. So obviously the smallest are going to be the one that you start with. I mean, you can't focus on the mortgage first. Like that's the one that they gave you 30 years. And so, most people 30 years. I know some people have 15 and 20, that's fine. But most people have 30, that 30 fix, right? And so you start from the bottom and then you work your way up. So there's a process and there's a plan that you have to have. But the biggest thing, and I'm sure everybody knows this, is the discipline. Once you say, all right, believe it or not, there's a lot of people that don't even make it as a focus. In America, there's a lot of people that don't even make it as a focus. They don't care. They know everybody lives in debt. Everybody has debt. Why should I try to get out of debt? But there are some people that actually don't have debt. And I know it's a few, but we can all make a decision to a point where, hey, you know what? I want to be there too. And you start working the process. Now, from perspective of who you're working with, or if you're single, social class, marital status, that's different. If you're single, you want to get on that wagon, you can work on that. If you're married, the number one tip I want to tell you that right now is that you guys have to be on the same page for that. If one person wants to continue to spend, the other one is serious about trying to get out of it, it's going to be a nightmare. I'm not even going to go there. I'll talk about relationships and money in other videos. When I want to start posting a little bit more of a relationship video. Right now I'm focusing a little bit more on personal development, finance, and money. And but I'll talk about some relationship stuff later down the road. And so again, it's a plan. You focus on it. You put. I want to go step by step stuff, but first of all, like I said, assessing where you are, your net worth is going to force you to be able to find out how much you really owe in credit card debt, in personal line of credit, in loans, personal loans, and store card loans, in whatever, toaster at the rent table kind of place. Anything, you have to put it on paper and start calculating where you stand today. A lot of people don't know how much they owe total. And then you go up. After the credit cards, you get into if you have any other educational loans, you get into that, up to the mortgage. I mean, everybody knows. I'm sure the mortgage is everybody knows the number, right? Tracking every day. But the key is to start to work in paying that down. Now, the question is, most people are going to talk about income, right? Oh my God, we can barely pay the bills now with what we're making. What are you talking about? And again, I know it's easier said than done. I'm there. I've been there to a degree, keep working on that myself. But I'm here to say everything we all know, we've heard it before, is the discipline, right? Once you set up the plan, just you start with a credit card, the number one step is what? Stop spending. Stop. I don't know. So, I'm not even doing anything, just a day-to-day food. But let me tell you something. We all buy things that we don't need. I buy things I don't need. Let me tell you something. During the COVID-19 quarantine, sequestration, call it what you want, a lot of spending for mental health balance has to do with some financial decisions that a lot of people shop during COVID. Amazon stock and sales went skyrocketed during the COVID-19 because just people sat home, didn't have anything to do, they started overspending. And it's not judgmental. I'm just saying everybody did it. And so that's one of the things that you guys start being more aware of. Stop the spending and then start tracking every single card every month. And I know we use them, we pay them down, and then after a while it's a little bit weird. You have to use it back up again. But and again, I'm here to talk about goals and objectives, right? That's all I'm talking about. I'm not here to say, oh, you use your card again. I'm not here to track anybody. I'm sure I'm talking to families, households, adults. You do what you want with your money. You do what you want with your finance. But here I'm here to tell you, the road to starting to build wealth is trying to figure out a way how to get out of debt. And that's the key. You got to figure out how to get out of debt. Put the credit card on the table. Start doing plastic surgery. What we call in plastic surgery is cutting those credit card with a scissor. But it's difficult because a lot of time, again, I'm going back to income, right? How much people make and what's the disposable income compared to what's left. And usually, I know this for a fact. I have a finance and accounting background. If you take the amount of money that people spend on the credit card on a monthly basis, it's almost equal to the amount of money that they are short that they should have had on their paycheck to be able to support the month. And so that is if you're not spending money on things that you don't need, right? And I understand the fact that people compensate on the credit card and use that, and then kind of technically the credit card is made to be able to build credit. You should use credit just because you want to use credit and not because you have to use a credit card. So basically, you build your credit by using the credit card and then paying off within the month. But if you don't have the money to pay off within the month, how are you gonna? It's almost like it's a wheel that you kind of stuck in, and so therefore the credit card balance is going to continue to go up because you can't pay fast enough within the month versus how much you're spending on it on a monthly basis because you want to compensate from your paycheck that is short. So there's a few things you do. Obviously there's another one, right? Continue to improve yourself, your skills, get marketable, improve your pay, your salary, get a better job, improve your pay. But again, the problem that you find in economics and the dynamics of economics and social behavior and spending is that most people, as soon as they start earning more, they feel like they need to increase their lifestyle. They feel, hey, now we're making 200,000 a year, combined. I'm not saying that I'm just getting an example. Now we need to, we can live here, we can afford this car. And obviously you don't realize that you were on a journey to paying off credit card, to pay off debt, and you forget that because you got a new. See, if you stay at the spending that you are right now, but you continue to increase your salary and your income, or you even have a small business on the side, that's another story. I'm going to get into that. Then you can see how fast you can start to paying down debt. It's not easy, let me tell you, but the key that I want is that you continue to keep your mind on getting out of debt. So that's the thing. That's the most important thing. I'm not here to say we've all done that. You pay a car, oh, I'm almost ready to pay it off, and then something happens, blah blah blah. Whew, you rack it up again. That's fine, as long as you remain as a goal to pay your credit cards down and stay on the journey to getting out of debt. You eventually get there. The reason why some people don't ever get there is because they just abandon it. They get tired of it, or they never even had it as a plan to get out of debt. They just believe that everybody does. And so that's fine. America, people live in debt. You can be okay, living in debt, and you manage it and good credit and pay all your bills. You kind of just stay there. But the problem is you're going to have an okay life, but the building wealth thing is going to be difficult for it to happen. And you're just going to be okay all your life. And that's fine. If you want to be in the okay, that's fine. You can do that. Good credit, good job, pay off debt, pay all the bills in time, and good. Everything is fine. But when you come to net worth, you're always going to be about that in that place where you're like kind of like on a red, black a little bit. It's never going to be totally taking care of your debt and then start building money and start building wealth. And so you can choose to be in that, or you can want to be really truly building wealth. And so those things, you increase your income, or you consistently, which is the most difficult, control spending habits, stop spending things that are not needed, and then continue to focus month to month. Like you literally have a plan, you have a tracker. You can establish an Excel spreadsheet where you put all your credit card debt, all your debt, and you literally track it every month. How much you're paying down, how much are your balances. Check your APRs. Start paying the credit card with the highest APR, because those are the ones that's going to cost you the most by the time you end up paying the credit card. So if you pay those credit cards a little faster that have the highest APRs, you're going to end up saving money over time. Now, and it's good if you could start with the smallest one, you can knock them out. That's fine. But the ones that have the highest APR are usually the ones that needs to be taken care of first. And then you jump to personal, personal line of credit, revolving credit, or whatever, personal line of credit, personal loans, and then you go to the bigger one, right? When you start tackling. But when you see you free up some money, you're making a little bit money over time, over the years. It's a long journey just to be able to get out of it. Sometimes you have breaks in life, like you have a big amount of money, a tax refund, a loan. Some people get loans. You get a loan from a, withdraw from a retirement account a certain big amount. You can do that, but be careful. This is not something you recommend that you take money from your retirement. But a lot of people do that. They don't have a choice. They have the money. They need money. But make sure that sometimes you try to make it a loan instead of a withdrawal, because the loan you pay back, the withdrawal you don't pay back, but it just reduces you have to work rebuilding that again. And so, but anyway, the objective of today was to be able to get people on the focus of finding where you are, put it as an objective to get out of debt, and then put it down and track it, change your behavior, change your buying habit, change your behavior, continue to work to earn more. And then finally, when you start doing that, you're going to start building, even if you have some little investments that return you some money, instead of taking that and going shopping, if you get some investment returns, take that and continue to pay down debt with it. It's difficult to do that, but again, with discipline, which is something we don't like to hear. Nobody like to hear discipline. We don't want discipline. We just want to do whatever. But unfortunately, if you do whatever, you're always going to get whatever. And so, yeah, that's what I wanted to talk about today. I don't know if that helps anyone, but it's almost like it's a rhetorical talk, but I just wanted to make emphasis that you have to put it as something that's in front of you, that you want to make sure that, number one, you say, hey, I want to get out of debt. That's the first stage, because a lot of people don't even say that. They just kind of like leave, and that's fine. In the other videos, I'm going to get a little bit about bad debt, and I get it. Educational loan, you take it for a letter. It's a quote an investment in yourself. But my video on education loan, somewhere I'll tell you a little bit what I believe really truly about student loans. But and then mortgage, I think mortgage would be the biggest debt that most people have in America. But you know what? I think I've recommended in one of my videos that it's always better to be able to get in a house, buy a house, than to rent, when it makes sense. Not to rush anybody to go get something too early just because they want to buy. But if you get to that, I've always advised that. And then paying your mortgage earlier. And a lot of people do that again. Getting out of debt with that little money that you're clearing on the side, down the road, you can start kind of, ganging up on the mortgage payment a little bit. The smallest amount that you increase on your mortgage a month is going to make a big difference over time. And you're definitely not going to be in the 30 years if you do a little bit of extra payment. If you can, I can guarantee you're not going to be in the 30. You're probably going to be in the 20 at the end if you continue to do a little bit more. But to have that extra, you can't have it when you're out of debt with all the credit cards that you haven't focused to paying. So you're going to continue to just pay the minimum, and you're going to end up, if God forbid you live the 30 years, getting that to that exact term, or maybe longer. And so anyway, that was a little 18-minute talk, but I wanted to put that out there and post this as a restart to put some videos on the site, on the channel, on the platform. And again, I hope it's a little bit informational, it's helpful. And then just like I say, if you like some of the videos, just make sure that you like it or subscribe for more content and for more educational material. So I'm going to continue to educate myself, do whatever I can do to research and be able to share what I find, and also obviously give credit where it's due. So all right, thanks. I hope you guys have a great day, and I'm posting this on the holiday, and a happy holiday everyone. All right, thank you.